Hi, good morning. Welcome to the Morning Talk with LENORA. I've been away for a while, and as you can see, I'm in a different location. I'm currently recuperating in the hospital. I've had some pneumonia. You know what happens when you live in this chronic life. You have your moments. Well, I promised my son I was going to cool out and not do anything, but I've been here a week now, and I am feeling better. But during my week, I've been watching TV, and I've been watching Netflix. So I thought I'd share with you all what I've been watching. So I'm going to come to you back with my comparison of Luke Cage versus Black Thunder. That's what I've been watching. So this is LENORA's Netflix review of Luke Cage and Black Panther. I'll be right back. So you guys hold on, okay? Gotta get it ready. Hi everybody, I'm back. And I think I made a little mistake. I'm doing a Netflix review on Luke Cage versus Black Thunder, not Black Panther like I just said, but can't be perfect. But let's start with the similarities of the two shows, I think. Well, one, Luke Cage and Black Lightning are black males. If you've ever seen Luke Cage, and you can make assumptions of Black Lightning, but there are a lot of people who are very familiar with these comic books, and I, for one, was not. So it's all a new world to me, and I'm enjoying it. So they're both black males. If you've never seen it, Luke is fighting to defend the common people, very much like Black Lightning. They're similar in that manner. They are both considered superheroes. It's really weird. I always talk about this when I can see myself. I wish my camera could see me. Yeah, look, I'm in focus. They are both considered superheroes, and they are both considered by the police department as vigilantes or thugs. Even though they have these positive moves in the community and they're trying to do positive things, they're still vigilantes and thugs. And their stature, they are very tall men, and they both have this really cool baritone-like voice when they speak, so they can calm you. I thought that was a similarity that I thought was so apparent. And for me, that's where the similarities stop. So I'm going to come back with my breakdown of the differences. So hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, so let's get started with Luke Cage. Season 1. Luke Cage is considered a hoodie-wearing, unbreakable ex-con who fights to clear his name and save his Harlem community. He was originally, he was not looking for a fight, but he came at a time when the people needed a hero. The gritty, action-packed drama follows the evolution of Luke Cage, who is Mike Coulter, a man with super strength and unbreakable skin. These powers were obtained by an experimental treatment he received while he was incarcerated. And the experiment was kind of sabotaged and created these superhero-like characteristics in him. Well, in the show, he wears no costume other than an iconic hoodie, which appears to me to be an homage to Tamar Rice, the 12-year-old little boy who allegedly was shot by George Zimmerman. I find Luke Cage as a superhero very laid back and low-key, which in turn for me accentuates the villainous behavior of all the bad guys in the cast. Those memorable for me for first season was first crime boss Cottonmouth, who is played by Marcella Ali, who's also an Academy Award winner for the movie Moonlight. He was very charismatic and quite an opponent for Luke Cage, and his character also introduced us to his sister or cousin. Forget it. But if you watch, you know which one she is. We're talking about Black Mariah. She really comes to the light in season 2, so I'll wait and hold up on that. But he also has another opponent. He's called Shades, and he's a good character. Like, I've never read the comic books, so I'm probably like behind the scenes. But this is all for right now, and I'll be right back with some more.
What do you want for lunch?
Just 1 second. Hello. If y'all had any indication that I'm not in the hospital, I guess you got that when you got the real authentic feeling when the lady interrupted me from the dietary staff to take my lunch order. So yeah, I am really in the hospital, sitting on my bed. But let's get back to the show. Season 2 on Luke Cage for me has been all about Black Mariah and Bushmaster, and a whole lot of women in power. Bushmaster. Well, he sent me on an immediate Google search. I need to find out who he was. I've never seen him in anything personally, and I found out his name is Mustafa Shakur. And for me, he literally stole the show. His Jamaican accent, his character's Jamaican accent, that awesome, perfect widow's peak that always indicates, you know, something really special about a person. His backstory as the character, it all just drew you into him. Of course, in a pair of mesmerizing eyes, and a great physique created a complete package. Oh yeah, he's a killer too. In the show he is, and his on-screen persona and image almost made you forget it. I mean, because they really did a good job kind of creating a sense of sympathy for him, for what happened to him as a kid. And then on the other hand, kind of told the story about, you know, what drove him to do the things that he did. But I thought it was he was a great piece of work. And the way he, you know, the hero won in the end, but it looks like, you know, there's an open door for him to come back. He's not dead, you know, but he's, you know, Luke Cage won in the end. But there was another thing that about his character and the stuff around him was the interest that they piqued in me about the herb nightshade. So once again, I had to go on a Google search, and I'll let you look that one up yourself. But you know, it's just like, you know, when I read books, I get the words, I don't know, and I look at a dictionary, I Google them, because, you know, it kind of, you know, completes the whole thought about the book. So, you know, I Google things, and I, you know, want to get the full picture of what's going on. But I found that, you know, he was awesome. So I'm gonna move on to my next character, and let me take a break for a moment before they come in and want to take my vitals. So let me give them a moment. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. You know, the vitals bursting in right now, but now I want to talk about Alfre Woodard. She played Black Mariah, or Mariah Dillard Stokes. That's her name, Mariah Dillard Stokes. She was a powerful woman working in Harlem politics, looking to bring a new era of change to the streets that she grew up on. Her personal life and professional career are thrown into turmoil by both Luke Cage as well as her nefarious acts of her Cottonmouth. You know, he has some very vile conduct. In Alfred Woodard's portrayal of Black Mariah, it was very apparent that she has many years of acting in the industry. For me, this portrayal, this particular season, it stood out as her scandal. You know, her scandal, where she was large and in charge, so to speak. You know, she was a great villain, surprisingly, because, you know, I've seen her in very motherly, sisterly sidekick roles. You know, I see her loving basketball. I saw her in a movie with Kathy Bates. I can't remember the name of, where she played her sidekick. I saw her in another movie where she played like a southern streetwise mom who moves down south. I can't remember the name of these movies, but she has a lot of them. I've seen, you know, she was an actress. She does show that she's an actress with a very full range. And she definitely reigned supreme in this particular season of Luke Cage. I mean, you know, she was smart. You know, she was the cougar, you know, with the younger guy shades. You know, she was ambitious. She was smart. She had covert activity. She was a real thorn in the side of Luke Cage and the policewoman. And then also, you know, she had her own personal demons as a child that comes up during this season that you all see. And then she has a daughter that shows up. And her daughter, I've seen her, she's most memorable. Her name is Tilda in the show. And I remember her from the Game. And I thought she was a very good actress in the Game. She, I didn't write her name down. I apologize. She was, like I said, I thought she was a very good actress in the Game. So she shows up here as Mariah's daughter, but she's also a doctor who's chosen to use herbal and medicine to treat her patients. She has this really cool herbal shop. I think there's, of course, like I said, I didn't read the comics, but I know there's more to come with her, because at the end they kind of make it that she's, as again, her name is Tilda. Also, there was the Misty Knight, who is the policewoman. You know, she is like on steroids, you know. She's all about her business. And I want to say there were quite a few strong females in this movie. There was the captain that came in. Eventually was another female, another female detective, and then it was the Dr. Tilda, and then there was Black Mariah. It was a good show to see the strength among these women and the intelligence. And I mean, season 2 is really cool. One thing I wanted to add is honorable mention is Ron Cephas Jones, Bobby Fischer, and Luke Cage. He is so cool. He is the guy that I remember. He's been in a lot of things. He's an older guy, but I remember him most recently in This Is Us. He plays the dad that died from cancer. You know, and Luke Cage, when I see he's cool, he has swag. You know, I like the way he dresses in the show. And I mean, he's all, even in This Is Us, he's playing a cancer patient, but he has all this swag and brings all this intelligence and wisdom to both roles. So, I want to shout him out on that. I'm going to wrap up the Luke Cage portion, and I'm going to come back and try to enlighten you on my views on Black Lightning. I'm saying it like that because if you're still with me from the beginning, I've been calling him everything but who he is. So I'll see you in just a moment, and then we're gonna we're gonna wrap up this portion. Thank you. Hi. I'm back. Well, because I'm working on location, I don't have all my equipment, so I'm what do you call it? I'm roughing it. So I don't have my stand or my headphones or anything like that. So, but you know what? I just want to get it in. So, this last session is about Black Lightning, as I say it over and over. Black Lightning is a high school principal by the name of Jefferson Pierce. His real name is Cress Williams. And I remember him from Living Single. He plays Scooter. And he looks good. He's aged very well. He's somebody's dad and husband. He does look like it. He's always been a very tall guy, broad shoulders. I remember that about him. So it's really it's good to see this on him. Good to see him get this role. So I'm happy for him as a fan. Jefferson Pierce, or Black Lightning, he suits up once again to save his daughters. His oldest daughter is Anissa. Her name is Nafessa Williams. And she eventually becomes Thunder. I guess that's why I keep confusing Black Light and Thunder, that's why. I don't know all of her work, but I noticed that she was in a movie that I reviewed previously for Netflix. It's called The Man in 3B. I don't remember her in the movie. But what that means is this is a breakout role for us. I'm concerned for her because now I won't forget her because she's played such a prominent role in this particular movie. Like I say, I won't forget her now. And his his other daughter that he went out to save is her name's Jennifer in the show. Her real name is China Ann McClain. And she eventually becomes Lightning, so I'm sure that's a ways down the road here, but that's what I'm reading. Now China Ann McClain, for me, she's most notable as a child actress. I remember her in the movie Daddy's Little Girls. Daddy's Little Girls, and it's a Tyler Perry movie. She played the daughter of Idris Elba, who dated Gabrielle Union. And it's a good movie, very heartfelt, very touching. She's a great little actress, and she had the distinction of playing in this movie with her real sisters, two of her real sisters, and she was the youngest, as I recall. And she was a great little actress. So she has great comedic timing, which was apparent when she played in another Tyler Perry production. It was a series, House of Pain. She was the youngest daughter there, and she's quick-wit. She has great timing. I'm sure she went on to do great things that I didn't particularly follow them all, but when I saw her in this, I remembered she was always a great little actress. And she didn't disappoint this time. She became a very beautiful young lady, and she's still very good at her craft. As I was saying, he comes out of retirement to save his daughters, who got from trouble, and in doing so, he breaks his promise to his ex-wife. Her name's Lynn. Her real name is Christine Adams. And she's a new face to me. But in breaking his promise to his ex-wife to retire from being a superhero for good, what Jefferson intended to be a one-time stint, however, becomes a full-time return to wearing the cape when he learns that his family are being targeted by a criminal organization that calls itself the 100 and a shadowy government agency called the ASA. James Remar, which when I say his name, he played in Sex and the City as Richard, who dated Carrie. He was like really, you know, he was kind of sexy and hot in here. He's none of that. And like that, he's like an old and older scientist. He's not Sexy Richard from who was with Carrie. Also, the actor Damon Cupton, and I don't know the name, but from my memory of the show, I think that's the blonde-headed guy. He's played a lot of stuff. He usually plays a bad guy. But and then lastly, the other person was Marvin Crondon Jones III. They joined the cast as Pierce's family friend, Peter Gambini, police inspector Billy Henderson. Oh, that's a black guy. Damon Cupton's black guy. And the 100 leader, Tobias Whalen, who is Crondon Jones III. Now, I think Marvin Jones III, or Crondon, he's going to be the next breakout star, in my opinion, because he really got into his role. I mean, he was, he brought everything. He brought fear, he brought boss, he brought danger. You know, he was a good villain. And then I found out that he was not always an actor. He's been a long-time rapper from Los Angeles. I learned of this. It wasn't something that I knew. But, I mean, his voice is so amazing. I mean, he has such a great voice, speaking voice. For a matter of fact, I watched a clip of him on The Breakfast Club with Charlamagne, DJ Envy, and I didn't know the girl. I just remember those two. But he's did an interview with them, and in hearing him speak, he's very well spoken. He's an intelligent man. I'm very grateful. I mean, he was throwing accolades all around the place, you know, and he's, you know, it appears to be his season, you know, in my, you know, unprofessional opinion. You know, I just was watching a Netflix in the hospital. But, you know, all of his characteristics as a person really added to his role as Tobias. He plays in, I mean, the role was apparently created almost for him, if it wasn't indeed created for him. Tobias Whaley in this Black Lightning is an albino, and so is Mr. Marvin Crondon Jones. He too is an albino. So, you know, talking about custom fit. As I said, he had a great speaking voice, and I think, I mean, I thought it was really good for somebody who is not in a lot of movies. He was born for this. And finally, I wanted to bring attention to one of the most, probably, I don't know if it's going to be not mentioned or, you know, overlooked. It's that this is a superhero family. There's a mom, 2 daughters, and a dad. Even though the parents are separated, you know, the mom, who is a doctor, you know, is there for her family, and her daughters are, her oldest daughter is either in medical school or going to medical school. So she's intelligent. The young girl is really, that's China, is really smart. But they show family discipline. They show meeting and come together on things, respecting boundaries with each other. I mean, without the whole backstory of them being superheroes and, you know, trying to, you know, having these powers, it is such a good, wholesome family thing to watch. You know, for me, this might not be much for most people, but to see family members that look like each other, they look like a family. We have a black female mom that is wearing her natural hair. You know, I mean, that might not, you know, everybody doesn't have to wear the natural hair, but you know what? At least you get to see it and make a decision and choose whether you want to, instead of having this cookie cutter look for every black woman that's on the air. So I thought that was groundbreaking. And she's a beautiful woman, you know, in the words of India R. Reid, her hair doesn't make her. She is beautiful. And I also really dug the really strong messages that Black Lightning Left provided us with creating mantras for these young men and young women to, you know, to increase their life and better their lives, following up on the students, you know, running a school, you know, flashes back to his father and how his father instilled these same, you know, goals. And, you know, remember, something I always say to my children, people can take a lot of things from you. They can't take your education. You know, once it's in there, it's in there. So it's your job to go and get it. So I'm going to leave now. And I guess it's almost time for me to have lunch and, you know, in my meds. So, so I'm going to leave you with the thought that, you know, that that seeing a healthy black family in normal situations, in unusual circumstances, is an everyday occurrence. So black families are not unicorns. Black families led by black men are not extinct. They do happen. So art imitates life. So to come up with these characters, there had to be role models out in the real life. So I'm going to leave you here and let you go entertain yourself now, because I got to go back and be a patient. So thank y'all for watching, and I'll be home soon in my regular atmosphere. Thanks, and this is it for the Morning Talk for Lenora. Peace.